What's up, YouTube? My name is Daniel. I'm the owner of SASS Concepts. That's SASS, or Southern Armaments and Sighting Systems. So I am an 07, 02 FFL SOT. We are almost exclusively a precision rifle company. So we do bolt actions, we do semi-auto large frame gassers like AR-10s, and then semi-auto 5.56ers, small frame gassers. Would love to talk to you if you have any questions about getting a precision type setup. So one thing that I have changed a lot over the past year and a half is this Bergara B14 HMR. People had questions on it, on why I got to this as an end goal, and I really wanted to walk through step by step how I got to this place, and also why my 80% use case of this rifle changed over time. So I wanted to walk you through sort of 3 phases that I've walked this rifle through, and then I can talk to you about why my 80% use case changed up along the way. So let me go ahead and get started, and let me first talk about what this rifle started with. I should be able to find some B-roll, but this started as a Bergara B14 HMR. So the HMR is what they call a hunting match rifle. That is, everything about the rifle is made for a balance between using it for hunting and using it for match. So when I first bought the Bergara B14 HMR, my 80% use case was, or my requirements were, that it had to be around the $1,000 price mark. So it was my budget. It had to be in 6.5 Creedmoor because that was the caliber I wanted. I felt it was versatile for what I wanted to do, and it has proven to be so. It had to weigh just about 10 pounds before I added things to it. It had to be customizable and an R700 footprint. And so the Bergara B14 HMR fit that 80% use case. The 20% use case was, of course, hunting. So it had to be able to go hunting if I needed to. It couldn't be too heavy, all that kind of stuff. So I had that set up for about 6 months. And then in a trade that I found this MDT ESS chassis. That's their elite sniper system. That came with, I think I have it here. This came with the M-LOK rail. So there is no Picatinny on here. Just add what you want. You could have a clip-on if you had the right Picatinny piece, but otherwise, there's really not much to it. Lighter weight rail for sure. And ironically, I hadn't even hunted with the stock, the regular polymer stock, which was much lighter. I actually went on my first hunt with this rifle. I'll throw a picture up, in an elk hunt. So that gun with the suppressor and everything like that probably weighed about 15 pounds. Probably not super ideal for most hunts like that, but still made it work. Made a 346-yard shot on a cow elk. It was 315 pounds. And yeah, double lung shot with a Barnes LRX 127 grain, which I can talk more about later. When I got the MDT ESS chassis, my 80% use case shifted. I wasn't going hunting with it per se. Ironically, I went elk hunting. So I wanted a chassis that allowed for a better balanced rifle and allowed for more modularity. With that, the sacrifice was additional weight. I actually went and competed with this up at Ben Franklin Range at the sniper comp that they had up there and up in August, and used this rifle with that M-LOK rail that I showed you, and it worked well for the 80% use case that I had. And now what I have is I've removed one of the old suppressors, and then I have also added this full-length rail. So my majority use case, I would say 80%, but it's more like 95% right now, is I need to compete with this. I need to be able to use this for competitive target match shooting, almost exclusively. This is a 17-pound rifle as it sits, and I don't really anticipate hunting with this. I think in the right circumstance, I probably could, but it's still pretty beefy, still balances well, just not what I would take on a some kind of hunt, but definitely not a pack-in hunt. Especially if I'm rucking over multiple miles and having to pack out something, just because it's weight I have to carry the whole time. So let's go ahead and start from the muzzle, go all the way to the stock, and then tell you why I picked these parts and pieces. So again, this is a Daniel Defense DD Wave suppressor. This came out in the mid to late 2010s. It is a DMLS suppressor that is direct metal laser sintered, so 3D printed basically. I cannot show you how this detaches and attaches, but I can show you, if you find a video, you can see how this mounting system works. But there is a muzzle brake under there. It is 7.62. This is somewhat of a heavy suppressor, but I have a few muzzle devices for the suppressor, so I'm allowed to kind of move it from one match gun to another. But I picked this up on a great deal. It allows me, I have the infrastructure to be able to move it from gun to gun to gun, so makes more sense for me. Moving on up, this is a 22-inch 6.5 Creedmoor barrel. It is kind of a balanced profile. I cannot exactly remember the taper on this. I could probably put it up on like the screen or something so that you know exactly. Again, this is factory direct from Bergara. Never had an issue with this opening up groups. This rifle is sitting at about 1 MOA with my preferred Golden Target match 143 grain ammo. So use this both in competition, also in hunting once. I feel like it's balanced. I can't speak too much to it beyond that. This is the MDT full length rail. This is the 18-inch version. I picked this up used, also on a great deal. I have not mounted any clip-ons to it yet. Otherwise, I really appreciate the look of the full length rail. Definitely better than the M-LOK piece there. Just allows for more consistent top mounted modularity when I do get a clip-on for this system. And then moving a little bit back here, you can see the Arca base here. This came with the chassis when I bought it used. I have not used it on a tripod yet, just don't have an Arca tripod yet. I will be getting one soon. It also balances extremely well right at this point, and because it's a flat base, I can put it up on most bags, on most structures, and it sits right there, whether the suppressor is on or off. Very balanced rifle. Haven't tried to tweak it or make it perfect, right? It's just naturally that way. Not sure if that's luck or just good engineering on MDT's part. Moving then a little bit farther back, we've got the Bergara B14 Action. This is R700 footprint, or Remington 700. That is by far the most common footprint that can be used for a bolt action. I really like the Bergara so far. It has worked itself in really well. Don't feel like there's any sticking or heavy lift or a rough bolt or anything like that. Been really awesome to use. Moving up then, we have this C1 Max mount that is a 1.3 inch height from Badger Ordnance, and sitting in that is a Night Force ATACR first focal plane 5-25 with the Mil XT reticle. Something about this optic, and I would do a totally separate review on this. One thing that you'll notice when you use this optic is from about 5 magnification to 7, there's a little bit of tunneling. So when you look down the optic, you'll kind of see more of the black shadow, so to say, when you've got your perfect eye relief. And then as you zoom into about 7, you see the field of view actually widening. And then you get that same field of view picture as you move from like 7 to 25. Not a huge deal, a little surprising. I've never really experienced that in another optic. Maybe some other people have, but I don't think that's a failure point in this optic. Just something to realize. Just hadn't seen it in other optics. So far, I've really enjoyed using this optic out at the range with the Mil XT reticle. Very helpful. I've got the Mil XT reticle here and in a 4-16 optic, so the consistency between the two platforms really helps me keep consistency with the usage of the optic and knowing it well. Have not competed with this rifle yet with this optic, so I will be able to speak to that more when I actually compete with it. But so far, great reticle. Much better than the Burris XTR SCR Mil reticle. That one did not have the whole like Christmas tree grid, so definitely like that more in this reticle, even though it's a bolt gun and you would think about like dialing versus holding over. Just more versatile in that sense. See, then moving back down, I guess, to the magazine. It's a Magpul 10 rounder. Don't really have any issues with it. Haven't really had any feeding issues. There are occasional times, but not enough to make me frustrated with the with the magazine itself, and I've competed with it. So if that speaks to you at all, I probably have I don't know, 800 to 1,000 rounds on this barrel. So I'm not halfway through the life, but I'm a pretty far ways down the line. MDT grip came with the chassis. Do not know the name. I could probably go try to find it. Otherwise, super nice. I have large hands, easy to get around the grip here. Moving back then, I think this is their XRS skeleton stock from MDT. Has some nice features here with the adjustability of the stock. Just to be honest, I run stocks all the way in. Don't really do any adjustability here, just like being closer to the actual buttstock of the rifle. I don't like being far out. And then a Vibod cheek rest here that wraps over the cheek rest underneath. So I think that's everything from muzzle to stock. Let me go ahead and talk first about the ammo that I've been using. So I'm going to drop this down here. This is the 143 grain, if I can find it. Oh, where'd you go? Oh, you fell over. The 143 grain Golden Target Match. This has a G1 BC of 0.635. It has a G7 BC of 0.321. This is going 2650 feet per second. Last time I chronographed it out of this gun. I'd have to re-chronograph since I've changed the suppressor, and just to ensure that's still the same velocity I'm getting. Great round for going out to 1,000 and beyond. I can throw a quick dope chart up here too, so you can kind of see what you're looking at for this round. Don't have much else to say than I've really appreciated it, and that the Golden Target Match line has some great offerings, both in the 130 grain variant and the 143 grain variant for 6.5 Creedmoor. Probably some of the most affordable too if you're buying factory match. And the SD and extreme, so standard deviation and extreme spread are not like amazing, but I can also throw up a picture of data that I've gotten from a 10-shot string. That is my preferred match and target round. Then I have the Barnes LRX 127 grain. This is what I took the cow elk with. It was a double lung shot at 346 yards. This is a copper monolithic with a ballistic tip. This is a very, very lethal round. I would have no question or no issue going again on an elk hunt or even bigger game hunt with this. This performed extremely well. Definitely would use it for even hogs or anything like that for sure. Setting that there. If you get the Bergara B14 HMR, you get this 5-rounder with the gun. I prefer to run the 10-rounders almost all the time. The 5-rounders, unless I'm going prone or I don't have much space below me, that's when these come in handy. Otherwise, I'd always prefer a 10-rounder. So anyways, I think that's the complete rifle. If there's anything I missed, anything you want to talk about, anything you want to see, just ask me in the comments. Ask me on Instagram too. I'm far more active on Instagram. Just have a lot more content posted there than here on YouTube. But of course, for longer reviews like this, definitely makes more sense to have on YouTube. So if you have questions about precision rifle, about your AR-10 or AR-15, and you want to get it set up for precision work, talk to me, message me. I'd be happy to help you. And with that, my Instagram is at SASS Concepts, all one word. Feel free to comment on anything on my posts or just send me a message, and I'm always happy to help you. So thanks so much, and see you guys around.